so excited to get you to come back to Dallas here. Of course, we were just listening to your EP, and it's fantastic. And so you got to be excited just to unveil this to the world, and it's great to look at along with your book as well.
Yeah, it's all been pretty satisfying. It's good fun. And I already played Dallas this year, and that was one of Houston and Dallas were actually two of my favorite gigs I did this year. I'm surprised that we're back already, but it was great last time, so let's hope for the best this time. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, what are we going to get out of the set? Because I mean, years and years worth of great music to play.
Well, I mean, one thing you could say about set is, I mean, that everything I play is sort of a setup because it's all about improvising. I'm basically playing guitar solos, so they're never the same. So, I've got obviously, this is a technical setup. I've got all sorts of guitar sonic devices, pedals, and so on and so forth. We've got the sequence of the photography, which is pretty much set. It's just like anything else. Some nights, it really kicks in and I play better. I try to play at a certain level every night, obviously. But it's just like last time I went out and did a number, I thought it takes me three shows. Then I sort of settle into the groove. By Dallas, I should be pretty much in the. I hope so.
I love it. Well,
Yeah.
and this is still fun for you, and it's got to be a joy to bring something, just a little bit different, because this is not a show that we would see from really anybody else.
No, this is different, and I hope people. Well, I think people have come out not expect knowing quite what to expect, but they're not disappointed. They've got a lot of guitar playing, and they've got all this visual imagery. Plus, my stand-up act has gotten really pretty good. No, I talk to the audience. It's not I just stand there and play the guitar and stare at the fretboard. I'm very into it with the audience. So,
Yeah.
it's a sort of what it should be, a communal experience, and so far it's gone very well. People laugh in all the right places. They're usually up at the edge of the stage by the time I get to the end. And I think this is all very good, particularly American audiences. I mean, I'm very jet lagged at the moment, extremely jet lagged. I just got back from, well, actually Japan, but I did
Mm.
2 weeks in New Zealand and Australia, and they were very good too. So,
It's
no,
amazing, but what a flight that'll take it out of you.
yeah, yeah. Kicks them. Yeah. Today I'm really feeling, oh man,
Oh gosh.
didn't sleep well last night. We'll see. Yeah, I think it takes a full week to get over that flight. Hopefully I'll make it for the
Uh,
tour.
yeah. Well, the thing is that, also in these travels, you're probably able to do even more photography out there too, right?
Yeah, I can. I do. I don't know. It was sort of strange in Australia. I was so busy. I mean, I played almost every night. And the first time I reduced the amount of equipment I take, because normally I go with a bag and I've got like 5 or 6 lenses and a backup camera. I actually just took one camera with one lens and I did the whole thing like that, which is, very good discipline to see what you get when you can't go, oh, I'm going to use 28 millimeter instead of 50. I took a 50 millimeter lens and I shot everything with that. So I'll see what I got. Yeah. I didn't
Yeah.
have that much time actually. We were working too hard, but there were a couple of moments in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get to see some brilliant and beautiful things across the world. Probably is inspiring to the music as well, right?
Well, some really interesting things. One of the most interesting things on that tour in Australia was going to I think they call it NOMA Museum. Is it or Mona Museum of New Art? It's an incredible museum underground in Tasmania. It's pretty famous. And there's this kind of billionaire guy who's put together. You go underground, and there's 3 floors underground of incredible stuff that he's collected, very eclectic.
Mm.
Really, there's nowhere else in the world like it. And luckily, we had the time to do it. I was between Adelaide and Australia, and then playing in Auckland in New Zealand, and I had about 4 days before the Auckland gig, so we went there, and I'm finally I'm pleased to have finally knocked that off. It was worth it. It's great, quite incredible.
Absolutely. Well, and that's kind of what keeps the touring fun too, is finding new and different experiences. Because I mean, you've been around the world so many
Yeah,
times, it's
yeah.
hard
Well, yeah,
hard to
it's
find.
true. I'm a I'm going to say inebriated traveler. That's not quite, although that's true sometimes. Well, I like traveling, and I if I'm going somewhere like Japan or just where I went, Australia, I'll usually take a little bit of time to read up about it and see what might be interesting.
Yeah.
You went to China and you didn't see this. Oh my God, yeah, there's still stuff. It's a big planet. I just came back from Kyoto and Tokyo,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm going back there to play in January. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, the travel bug hasn't gone. It's one of those things where you get home and you go, oh, that's it. I'm never getting on a plane again. 1 week later, you're ready.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
sometimes you get to know the towns by where to go to eat, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, just having come back from Tokyo, I mean, we were staying in a really posh hotel, but not far from the hotel, there was this sort of alley that ran along the side of the railroad, and it had all these places to eat, and they were all fantastic. You
Mm,
didn't need to go to some kind of poncy high-end restaurant. These little joints were fabulous. The food was really clean, really good. So that came became our spot, oddly enough.
yeah.
So yeah,
Ah,
you have to have a sort of a traveler's sense of being ready to, be knocked out by something that you haven't seen before, or whatever. Yeah, I haven't gotten over
mhm.
it yet.
Yeah. Well, still, and for years, people looked up at the stage and looked at you and said, "See, that's what I want to do." But I mean, you make it look easier than it is. But what kind of advice do you give to those musicians that want to do what you do?
Well, I mean, it's a one-word advice: practice. I don't know. You have to practice, but you have to decide to some extent. What you should do is find yourself with music. I mean, if you have any real talent for it, what is it you want to say? What is it you want to do? Who are you going to listen to? How are you going to feed that thing that eventually makes for great playing? I mean, I've done it all my life. I've practiced all my life. And yeah, I would say don't ever get cynical about it. Don't ever let it rest. I'm always interested in trying new things and yeah, trying to, I feel like it's my duty and my job to try to create new things on the guitar that other people haven't thought of or haven't played. I'm not just going to like settle down and play 12 bar blues the rest of my life. That was never me. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you might recall my co-host is Drew Pearson, one of our great Dallas Cowboys, caught the Hail Mary, went in the Hall of Fame, and we love asking people that Hail Mary moment, the moment in your life or career you just had to go for it and it worked out for you. So, what was that for you?
I think there's no alternative to that. Depends on who you are. I always wanted a so-called make it, and I thought I was that good that I should, and I really deserved it. And it came from an unusual place, the punk band, the Police, and then it became its own complete identity. And when we had the massive success we had, I mean, these were glorious days, of course, because it was a recognition at that level. Well, it's not to mention selling millions of records, which you can't even do anymore. Very difficult.
Yeah, but what a magical time though, right?
Oh, it was a great time. Yeah, no, you can get very morose about it. I mean, you get morose and you don't want to sound like an old person. Oh, it used to be better in the old days. But weirdly enough, the excitement of the visceral excitement almost of like when you're a teenager, when I grew up going to record stores and leafing through all the albums and knowing about the latest hot book and all that and collecting and all that. And you know, being number one because you sold the most records more than anyone else, not like it's a number on the Spotify or whatever. Although
Mhm.
we're past 2.5 billion on Spotify, I think, every breath you take. So I'm not moaning about it, but it's a different game now. But one tends to look backwards and always think it was better then. It was more tangible, more visceral, the whole thing. I don't know, it was more kind of human in a way, I think, than it is now.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's got to bring you joy, like when you go to the mall or restaurant or whatever, and you hear "Every Breath You Take" or Roxanne or any of those
Oh
things, right?
no, I don't deny it at all. I cheer it on. I mean, that
Yeah.
song in particular, My Guitar Riff, has become one of the all-time immortal songs. I think, in fact, actually, officially, it is the most played song of all time. It's
Yes.
true.
I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, and then,
Yeah.
but part of that, getting through it and still doing what you do. We talk about that success mindset on the show, and whether or not you're feeling it or not, and us creative types, we're hard on ourselves. So, is there something you've always told yourself that kept you on this right path?
Well, yeah, no, I think you stick to the truth of who you are and what it is you want to do, and you cut your abilities accordingly to whatever situation you're in. But um, yeah, I've never felt like I'm a person who could sell out. Like I don't go out and try and reproduce the police or do anything like that. Well, I'm not interested. That was then, and that was with those people, and that's what we did. Anything else is like redoing it just because you want to be famous again for that. It's shallow. I'm not really interested. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and so, of course, that you're always doing something exciting. What are we going to see next from you? What's coming out?
Well, I'm thinking about it actually and I'm a little bit scared.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I haven't, because of the pandemic and everything, it's about 4 years since I put the last record out. And that's not like me because I usually make one a year. But I mean, the pandemic happened and I don't even know what I did. Well, I have someone who works with me and I have a studio, but everything, well, we changed the whole studio up for a start. So I've got all this brand new digital equipment. And as soon as I've finished in Japan in January, I think I'm going to be a studio guy for a while. Maybe really like make 2 or 3 records. I could do that and really sort of catch up,
Yeah.
get up to speed with it. There's a lot of people I like to play with, but yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, but I did a lot of touring over the last 18 months, so now I'd like to back in the studio. I've got lots of compositions I want to record. I spent a lot of time on that, and now I want to get those out. I feel like I'm pregnant, and I need to kind of, yeah,
Gotta have those babies.
yeah, that's right.
uh,
Yeah.
I love that. Well, then last thing, of course, you've been to Texas many times, Dallas many times. Is there something that you're looking forward to doing? Some beer, barbecue, anything Texas centric here?
Well, unless somebody invites me, I mean, I wouldn't know how to do that or where to get it, but I have. I mean, to me, honestly, was it this year? It must be this year, or was it last year? I played Houston and Dallas, and to me, out of all the shows I did, they were my two favorites, both of
Yeah,
them. Really great audiences. Uh, so I'm looking forward to those shows. I mean, it's sort of interesting to come back this fast. But they were great shows.
yeah,
Hopefully, we'll get all those people again, and plus, you know, yeah,
yeah. Well, we're grateful that you're coming back, and we can't wait for the show. And
yeah.
thank you for all the years of great music, including this great
Thank you
new
very
EP. We're
much.
gonna tell everyone to check it out, and look forward to seeing you here in Dallas.
Great. All right, mate.
Okay, great.
Best.
Thank you so much.
I'll see you
Appreciate you.
then.
Bye bye.